Title: Trusting in the Lord, No Matter What. Scripture. Psalm 31 Introduction. In Psalm 31, we find King David crying out to the Lord in a time of trouble. He is facing enemies and difficulties on every side, and yet he declares his trust in the Lord. This psalm teaches us the importance of trusting in the Lord, no matter what. Trusting in the Lord for deliverance. Psalm 31-1-8. David begins this psalm by declaring his trust in the Lord. He cries out to God for deliverance from his enemies and for guidance. He trusts in the Lord to be his rock, his fortress, and his refuge. In times of trouble, we too can trust in the Lord for deliverance. Trusting in the Lord in times of despair. Psalm 31-9-13. David expresses his despair and anguish in these verses. He feels forgotten and rejected, surrounded by enemies who plot against him. And yet, even in his despair, he continues to trust in the Lord. In our own times of despair, we can also trust in the Lord to be with us and to sustain us. Trusting in the Lord for protection. Psalm 31-14-18. David entrusts his life to the Lord, declaring that his times are in God's hands. He trusts in the Lord to protect him from his enemies and to preserve him. We too can trust in the Lord for protection and preservation. Trusting in the Lord for his goodness. Psalm 31-19-24. David concludes this psalm by praising the Lord for his goodness. He declares that the Lord is good to those who trust in him and take refuge in him. He encourages others to trust in the Lord and to be strong and courageous. We too can trust in the goodness of the Lord and find strength and courage in him. Conclusion. Psalm 31 teaches us to trust in the Lord, no matter what. In times of trouble, despair, and danger, we can trust in the Lord for deliverance, protection, and goodness. Let us put our trust in him today.